Welcome everybody. My name is Slobodan and today we will talk about how to get out of debt. Many Americans have a problem with the debt, and according to Clark Howard, who actually talks in his article Money in Your Pocket, that most of the Americans are borrowing money for needs that are unnecessary needs. For example, your cell phone. Do you really have to get an i6 iPhone right away, or you can wait for a few months, maybe a year, when it gets cheaper? Interest rates are actually really high. They are about 30%. Most of the banks do run between 15 to 30. Monthly payment plans. These are actually, if you go to furniture store, for example, and they offer you 50 months interest free. Well, you have to make sure that you pay in those 50 months. Spending. Where are you going to spend your money? How do you spend your money? Are you actually a smart spender or not? And do you use a budget? Do you make your own budget to see where your money is going to? According to Federal Reserve Bank, there are a few types of debt: mortgage, credit card, loans, medical bills, etc. But there are good and bad debts. Right here, actually mortgage would be a good debt. Everything else, not really, because you don't have any money back. If you sell your house, you can actually make some money on it. Credit cards, you can't sell credit card to anyone. A budget. According to Investopedia, a budget is an estimation of revenue and expenses over a specific period of time. It could be a week, month, 6 months, year. On that list, you have actually salary. How much money do you bring in? And you compare against that salary your mortgage and rent. They shouldn't go over 50% of your salary. Utilities, groceries, and everything else. Now, the best strategy to get away from the debt is Dave Ramsey's strategy, Snowball. It actually first starts with eliminating extra spendings, which means you're going to eliminate first your cable bill. Do you really need it? Do you need to have a cell phone that's 4G and stuff like that? You have to organize your debt. First, you're going to say, okay, I have such and such credit cards, and you're going to put it from the lowest to the highest. Then you're going to focus on the lowest one first. You're going to pay everything else, the minimum payment, but on that one, you're going to attack it with everything that you have, as much as possible, as hard as possible. Once you pay that one off, you're going to go to the next one, and you're going to use the previous one's payments against the second one, and you're going to go over and over to the next one until you pay off your debt. Now, according to Forbes, people are more happy that actually they're debt free. They're very organized and there is no stress in their life whatsoever. They operate within their budget. They pay cash for their needs and barely use any credit cards for anything. Do you have any questions?
What about if you're going to buy a car that has 0% interest and it's maybe a little bit above your means? Is that considered a safe debt?
It depends. There are two ways. A car loan is not considered a good debt at all. But if you have 0 interest, it can be, because you don't have to pay any interest on that car whatsoever. But you have to be realistic with yourself. Do you really want to buy a car that's above your means? What I mean with this is, if the car is $40,000 but you make maybe 30, can you afford it? Are you going to be able to pay it off in those 50, 60, 72 months, depending how long they're actually giving their payment plans? You have to be realistic. Write it down and see, is it easier for you to pay 40,000 or maybe 15,000? Any other?
What do you think about like taking extra student loans and spending that money on paying off your credit cards?
Well, that's a tricky question.
Well, since it's less interest.
Yes, it is less interest, but you have to see what kind of loan it is. Is it subsidized or unsubsidized? First of all. And second of all, what you really want to look for is consolidation of all loans to be in one, which you're trying to do, but is it really worth it? Anything else? Thank you for your time.